This is Steve on Spin.com with surrounded by Panic at the Disco right now, who are kind enough to remove themselves. You guys have been holed up in a bunker working on the album. Actually, where have you guys been working on it? Now this is how.
Most recently, like, we've just been back in Vegas at our old practice space, just kind of working on new material. So we were switching between that and a cabin up in the mountains, like 30 minutes outside. It's like 30 minutes outside of Vegas, Mount Charleston. So yeah, those are like the only two locations. Yeah.
Apparently it's 45 minutes, so we're already great. Now they're going to start fighting about
the drives fast.
Okay. So you guys pulled yourselves out of the studio to come do this, and notice the 2 new songs. Was it? So,
yeah, we have a few new songs, and we kind of, I don't know, we've been having a lot of fun writing them, and we're kind of just anxious to play them in front of people. And
how far are you guys into it right now?
We were really far, and then we kind of changed our minds about a lot of stuff, and kind of started a new record, and so. I don't know. At this point.
Well, I mean, I've sort of noticed a couple different things too. I mean, the one thing I wanted to ask about was the band cover, because that's sort of maybe a little bit unexpected. Have you guys been maybe listening to a couple different things this time around?
Yeah. I think we've kind of grown to appreciate a lot of older music. We've all been listening to a lot, like the Beatles and Bob Dylan and. You know, the classics.
Has that sort of influenced a lot though too? Is like, you know, less Smiths, more Dylan, so that sort of, yeah, I've also noticed there's a lot less Crushed Velvet out here today.
Well,
is that
it's like 105 and it's like a
but I didn't know if that was going to stop you guys. I was actually, because I know that it did stop you.
It did.
It hasn't always
stopped us dead in the tracks.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we kind of, I guess we've kind of been doing that, you know, the blazer, like, kind of like nice dress stuff for a year and a half, you know, and I don't know, it's just like we were in Vegas and it started to get to the summer and it was like, well, man, I better just put a t-shirt on and just put some flip-flops on because it's too hot, and I guess that's why we're just like that.
But is it also just from listening to these other bands, from listening to maybe older music and sort of connecting with that a little bit too? Is that sort of maybe changed the way you guys are sort of?
I think more than anything, we've just started to realize that, you know, you don't have to be so specific all the time, you know?
How do you mean?
Just like, you know, if we're more comfortable maybe dressing a certain way because it's hotter out, it's like that shouldn't affect like the way we play our songs or anything.
Now, is this the first time that this new stuff's been played too, as far as playing out?
Yeah, we messed up, so I think we should just apologize in advance because I'm sure there's a video on YouTube, a camera phone video. We messed up, actually, in both of the songs.
Change?
I kept playing too long on one song, and he messed up the lyrics because.
Just learned it yesterday.
Do you want to blame it on someone else as long as you have the opportunity?
That's all right. I'll take the heat for this one.
Okay.
This time.
The two mistakes were made by John and Ryan.
Okay, good to know. So then, what's the timetable basically? I mean, you guys aren't necessarily feeling like you have to, hurry to the finish line with this too. I mean, are you guys basically thinking another 4 months on this? 4 weeks? I mean, how close are you guys? Do you feel to sort of getting somewhere with the record?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I would say we're going to be hopefully in the studio at least in early October, and the record should be done over the winter and out in early next year.
So is it nice then to get just a little bit of, I mean, I know you guys came out for this, but for relatively speaking, this has been kind of a quiet time for you. Has that sort of been good to sort of catch your breath and sort of take stock of what's happening? Because it was a pretty hectic year and a half or so for you guys. I mean, is it sort of also valuable to sort of take stock and think about everything that's gone on and try to make sense of it?
It just made sense to us, to kind of like, since we were so rushed on the first record and there was just so little time to write songs and it was our first record and all that pressure, we wanted to, kind of write comfortably, but, so we started over and we started,
yeah, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was good that we went home and we're in the same building that we wrote the first record in again, and it's just kind of like nice to be back there and doing the same thing in the same place.
Does it almost feel like some weird, crazy dream and maybe none of this ever actually happened and you're still
Every day. Every day.
Every night, actually. That's my dream.
Yeah, I don't really sleep a lot in a day.
So then, basically, are you guys doing a bunch more shows right now, or is it sort of you just peeked out of your hole for this, and you're going right back in, or do you have more?
Right back in the hole.
Right back in the hole. All right.
No, we have to go to Europe for Reading and Leeds,
Okay.
and a couple other shows, and then I think we have one other festival, and that's
That's kind of it.
That's it.
And they're putting you on lockdown and
We're putting ourselves on
putting
lockdown.
yourselves on lockdown.